What's up, guys and gals? It's time for the latest chapter review for Kengan Omega, the Big 300, Chapter 300, the Fiery 5 Fights finished. Not concluded, finished, because who decided that? Who decided that? Escanor might decide that, but who decided that one? Like, literally, FFFC. Nah, that one's just weird. Anyway, so I've changed the title to a more appropriate one. The Fiery 5 Fights finished. Yeah, way better title. Way better title. That being said, apologies for the lateness of the review. Once again, I'm quite behind on a lot of YouTube content for various reasons. But anyways, we're trying to catch up here now. So a lot of the videos are going to be late for the next probably week or so, as you guys can already tell. So it is what it is. Apologies for that in advance. Hopefully, I get back on track in the next week or so. So, anyways. Jumping into this one, I like the chapter. You know, we conclude, once again, we do conclude the Fiery 5 Fights with Joji versus Oma. What I like from here is that Joji has been basically one-upping Oma. He hasn't been, like, completely dominating, but you could argue he's kind of dominating, you know what I mean? But here, Oma's starting to get a little bit of the pacing. You know, he's starting to understand a little bit of Joji's measurements and stuff because Joji's going for the attacks and Oma is seemingly reading them and managing to block them. But also, when he thinks that a big kick is incoming, he tries to block from one angle, he gets kicked in the other, so he's taking low kicks to his, apparently a calf kick, but, you know, a low kick to his leg and stuff, and it's really hurting him. We can assume that he's been using Indestructible, he's trying to use Principles, he's trying to, Redirection Kata, he's trying to disperse the damage, he's trying to Indestructible Armor Clad the damage, and yet nothing seems weird. It still hurts like a motherfucker. It's still hurting pretty good. So Nitoku and Lu are recognizing that. So Oma goes in for a really close quarters fight, starts striking at Joji as he can. We don't really see if he's getting any honest, true hits on him, but we can, from this next panel, we can surmise that he is taking some, obviously guarded hits, but Joji is actually taking some strikes from Oma. He has a bit of a grimace on his face. He's taking a barrage. He's guarding most of it, but obviously it's still going to do damage, right? Just like any guard. This is where he's going for full contact karate, as Kurushi is mentioning, saying that that Joji's eye isn't going to give him much of an advantage at the close range. Oma recognized that immediately when he tried to go for the blind spot disadvantage. So going in close range sort of negates the idea of this Eye of God's thing, right? The Eye of God is only good for the fact that people are trying to get into his blind spot. But at close quarters, full contact, it's all out in the open. It's not really about blind spots. It's about suffering a barrage sort of idea. So at the extreme close range, the Eye of God isn't going to make much of a difference from a regular fighter, right? So Oma has easily recognized that, and he's going in for it, even though Joji obviously has the upper hand in this fight, and we can see this from the sweating, from the grimaces. Like, Joji might be sweating a little bit, but he's still the one pushing Oma back. He's trying to fight him on his home turf, and he's getting nowhere fast with it, as Kurushi ends up explaining. Like, it's a good idea in theory. Oma's saying, okay, I can't beat out that blind spot maneuver, and it's tricking me up. I'll go in even closer quarters, but closer quarters, full contact karate is what Joji is the best at. So Oma can't beat him on his home turf, and he's being pushed back as a result. He's taking major damage. He takes a roundhouse kick to the face even. Oma's suffering heavy damage here, and it's actually really impressive, and this is why I say he's probably been using Indestructible Adamantium Kata for a lot of this fight. We haven't seen it exactly listed, but it's sort of like early One Piece with Haki. You sort of have to assume certain panels that characters are using what they use. But still, because even with Indestructible, he apparently used it, but we still see the blood and the teeth and the throwback and stuff. So even with Indestructible, it doesn't matter. He's still taking a heavy beating, right? So this is where they're talking about the difference between the roundhouse kick and stuff like that. Kurushi even notices that Oma is extraordinarily tough because that roundhouse kick is powerful enough to knock black belts clear off their feet. The fact that he took the hit, staggered back, but stayed on his feet is an incredible feat in and of itself. So, but of course, he took the damage. He's beaten. He's bloody. Joji has taken a lot of hits in the torso and on his arm guards, but he's no real worse for wear. He hasn't taken any direct hits, truly, like an unguarded hit. So all of his body blows have been clenched up, ready to accept the blow, sort of idea. So Joji is definitely one-upping Oma in every respect at this point. Oma is complimenting this fact that it's like the full contact karate is absolutely crazy, the extreme close range. Oma continues to say, like, you're amazing, you're awesome, sort of idea. And he's like, he is a cut above everyone I've fought so far. It's like, how far can my strikes go against on someone of his level? Like, his blood's pumping. Like, Oma, this is Oma at his best. Oma loves to thrive on the idea of seeing a bar and climbing over it, seeing that hill and getting on the top. Oma is always the type of person and the type of character to say, all right, this is the next challenge. Let me go above and beyond it. Let me see you and match that challenge every time. Kurushi is also acknowledging this too. He goes, he's using Joji like a textbook. He's using him to improve his striking, to understand everything in the same way he's been using everyone. And that's Oma's main goal, is to use everyone to sort of advance his own martial arts. It's working in the same way. It's working a little more naturally than what we're led to believe that Koga has been doing this whole time. Remember Koga? Supposedly a main character of Kengan Omega. Not really sure what he looks like anymore. But yeah, so Oma has been basically doing that, but to a much higher degree and a much more acceptable why he's able to do it, right? So this is where he's just setting his sights far beyond. We get these great choreography panels, these really fun strikes, really good body blows, big impact moves and stuff like that. Heavy hits to the huge hit to Oma's leg and stuff like that. Oma is actually really taking all these hits. He manages actually redirection kata, entanglement strike. He actually manages to use redirection kata against one of Joji's blows, which Joji acknowledges at the end there. It's sort of like, okay, so he takes a hit. Joji goes for a really heavy hit against Oma's thigh, and then boom, he uses redirection kata, manages to get seemingly the first true, I would argue, because Joji winces, he reels back, the first unblocked blow that has happened. And it reminds me once again of Escanor, like, oh, I took damage there because redirection kata obviously, takes the power and redirects it and stuff. So it'd be like, Joji would be like, oh, yeah, that's why I felt a little pain just now, because you used my own power and hit me back with it. I pack quite a punch there, don't I? Don't I? Really, truly. So Joji actually winces this. This is what I would argue his first true unguarded blow he's taken the whole time. And Oma's going in. He's going with Steel Smash. He's going Flashing Steel Smash, Nico style with Adamantine Kata, Flame Kata. He's got to follow this up and try to hit it. We think it works, but no, Joji blocks it. I mean, obviously his arms are going to feel that tomorrow. Obviously Joji's arms are going to be feeling this. Adamantine kata with flame kata, that's nothing like short of, it's like taking a god glow. If you block the god glow, yeah, you blocked it, but it's going to fucking hurt. I don't care if you block it with your arm, your leg, whatever. It's still going to goddamn hurt. So yeah, Joji still took damage here, obviously. The timer ran out. And Joji mentions that luring me into a position where I can't dodge the attack. That was pretty well done, and almost just like, I tried to, take you out, doing pretty well against you in just those 3 minutes. Next time, I'm going to win, though. Now, I would argue at this point, we can surmise he used multiple Nico-style moves. He did not use the advance, but I would argue at this point we've seen enough of Joji Oma, even Oma exhausted at this point, that I would argue that Joji is still above Oma. Kurushi and Oma is a debate. I would argue that Joji is slightly above. They are in the same tier, but I would argue Joji is definitely still above Oma definitively at the end of this chapter. The guys basically said, you made it through all the rounds. Did this help? And Oma's like, yeah, thank you so much. And they're like, oh, yeah, now it's... Joji's like, all right, phone call. Shen, we going to a party? Let's go to a party, bud. Let's, Koga, Ryuki, let's go. We're doing party time. It's A boy dance party. It's a boy dance party. Right? Like, it's a boy dance party time, right? Joji didn't care about the fight. He was just waiting for that after party. He's waiting for the afterburner, and he's about to get it. Why invite the... Who's Koga and Ryuki again? I think they're character... I think they're in Kengan Omega. Maybe they were in Fist of the Seeker or something, because I'm not that familiar with these two character name drops. They keep dropping on me, you know? Crazy that. But either way, yeah, so I hope we do see this party. I hope we do see the after party. We do jump back to, obviously, Koga and Ryuki fighting against the Cure clan, sort of getting their ass kicked, and then we see the Cure mother herself showing up and being like, whack. Alright, boys. Yeah, you really need to, strut some better stuff here, because you're getting your ass kicked, you know? Like, oh, she's like, whack. And then, you know, she's taking them out and all these guys, and their idea here at the end of the chapter is, well, maybe we should split up. We'd have a better chance rather than, obviously, this isn't working. And it's like, yeah, we should do that. And then the Cure, Karura's mother, comes in and says, whack. I don't know if I'm willing to let you leave yet. And it's like, oh, you managed to block that. I was planning to take you out with that one. And it's like, okay. You know she's going to be badass. You know she's awesome and stuff like that. So, anyways, obviously, next chapter. 300 was great. The Fiery 5 fights are finished. But now we are obviously going to probably jump back to mostly a Koga Ryuki chapter in 301. You know, out of all chapters, you know, had I known this going in, I would have rather, depending on what 301 actually gives us, I think I would have rather have this one, where it's the big milestone and the big 300 and all this stuff. I think I would have rather get this one out on time. And if we're going to, like, if I'm going to delay a chapter, if I'm going to be busy, or if I'm going to be depressed, or if I'm going to whatever, for whatever reason, if I'm going to push a chapter review, can it be a Koga and Ryuki one that I give zero fucks about, please? You know what I mean? Like I have a feeling 301 is going to be like 95% Koga and Ryuki in the Cure manner, and I just don't care about this. I assume they're going to get stronger. Koga got stronger off screen. He jumped from D tier to apparently top of A tier off screen with no good logic behind it. So I'm not buying that anyways. So seeing it isn't going to make me any happier, I don't think. I don't know. Not trying to be a hater on the characters, but their growth is completely unrealistic and unprecedented. So I'm not fully behind that one. But anyways, we'll have to see what 301 actually brings us, of course. And I will, as always, I try to get any chapter review, whether good, bad, or indifferent. I try to get them all out on time. This one just happened to be, you know, very late. So, anyways, chapter 300. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section down below. I like the chapter. I like how it was concluded. I like the fact that Joji basically is clearly stronger than Oma still at this point. Even exhausted as Oma was. If this was a fight to the death, I think Joji would win. You know, and I think Karushi would actually give Oma a really hard time. I don't know who would win that one, but I think that's a toss-up. I think that's a coin flip 50-50, Karushi-Oma at this point. And I think Joji clearly beats Oma at this point. So, yeah. So, 2 out of the 5 would beat Oma, potentially. Just saying. So it was not a waste like a lot of people are saying. This is a lot of filler. This is a lot of fan service. This is a lot of bullshit. I'm like, no, because I would argue that 2 out of the 5 people could beat Oma straight up. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, we'll see all you people back here for 301. Hopefully that one's actually on time for a change. Now I gotta try my best tomorrow to catch up on like 3 One Piece chapters. I am so fucking far behind. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Star Strike It Rich is on time though. Star Strike It Rich is caught up to date. That's the main thing. I suppose there's something. Okay, have a good one everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.